Instead of
That's a lot.
doing anything.
Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May 16th, 2019. This is a commission meeting for the Post Falls Urban Renewal Agency. I'd like to have Diane call the roll, please.
Baltzell?
Here.
Carstensen?
Here.
Crosby?
Here.
Horn? Here. Clemenson?
Here.
Coles?
Here.
And Davis? Here.
Thank you. And Commissioner Davis is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, and welcome all again. We'll follow the agenda as it's produced. Item number 2 is ceremonies, appointments, and announcements. I'm not aware of any this morning. Does anyone have any that they would like to bring up? Okay. If not, we'll move on to conflict disclosures. Do any of the commissioners have anything they want to report as a possible conflict with anything that's on the agenda this morning? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the consent calendar. Director, please.
Thank you. Item A in the consent calendar is the joint meeting minutes of March 16th. Item B is the commission meeting minutes of April 18th. Item C is the payables for this month totaling $5,961.84. Item D is the bank activity report, which shows total funds in all accounts of $4,053,137.75 and accrued interest for the month of $5,820.39. Item E is the financial reports as of April 30th. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize the transfer of $5,820.39 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the Community First checking account $5,961.84 for general payables. I would answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for?
Mr. Chairman, for Diane, on the unpaid bill detail, there's a $7 charge from the Kootenai County Treasurer for aquifer fee based on a property tax number. What is that?
I received a charge from the county, and it was from 2016, which I had not received before. And so I contacted Lori Thomas and asked her what that was for. It was for parcel 20 when we did the Greens Ferry overpass, and it's just the aquifer fee. And I looked back in the payables, and we had paid that in 2015. 2016, then it got erased off the books, and so it will be tax exempt from that point forward. But we do owe that $7, and she removed $2.14 penalties and interest on that because I hadn't
He
received
actually
the bill on
had
it.
title to the property
Right.
prior to turning it back over to the city with regard to the Greens Ferry. Thank you.
Right.
That explains it. Thank you.
Oh, that's getting right down to the.
Yeah, right down to the cent.
Okay, good question. Any other questions or comments on the consent calendar items? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Thank you.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Do we have roll call vote, please?
Horn?
Aye.
Crosby?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Coles?
Aye.
Clemenson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. By the way, not a specific item on that part, but regarding the crossover of the banking relationship, is that going smoothly with Community First and the other bank that is going to be?
So far, I have to change the routing number on, the Percy account, the accounts that are electronic. I have to change the routing number after June 10th.
Right.
And so otherwise, everything remains the same until the end of the year.
Yeah, the checks will be, the current checks that you have are good through the end of the year, I understand. But the routing number will need to change for electronic transfers back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, committee updates, finance and policy, Commissioner Crosby.
Nothing to report other than we reviewed the financial report and found no problems.
That's what we like to hear. Good, thank you. District review, Commissioner
Nothing
Coles.
for me this morning.
Okay. And communication, property, and personnel.
The
Commissioner
only
Carstensen.
thing is we are having a meeting next Tuesday to discuss things that need to be addressed for the budget for the upcoming year. So we will get with Mr. Crosby and get
Okay.
that information to him as needed.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Any citizen comments? Do we have a citizen out there that'd like to comment? If not, I see no other citizens out there ready to comment, so we'll move right on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business to discuss? Okay. Any new business to bring up at this time? Okay, staff report and updates, please.
Work is resumed on the 4th Street parking lot project. They did some grading work yesterday, and they're out there again today. And so they will be installing curbing soon, and then the city will bid for the paving, and they still anticipate that being completed in August.
Okay, thank you.
Downtown for a day will take place on Saturday, this Saturday, on your birthday,
On my birthday.
from 10 to 7, and they've already started putting the storefronts down there, and so it'll be a fun-filled day for everybody. If you can attend, I think it'd be a great activity.
Okay. All right. Anything?
And then a reminder of the joint workshop with planning and zoning. They want to hold a joint meeting with the Urban Renewal and Planning and Zoning Committee for the Parks Master Plan, and that's scheduled for Tuesday, June 11th at 5 p.m. in the basement here at City Hall. And I was wondering if I could get a head count. I know Jamie and Larry will not be able to attend that. If I could get a head count to them, they'd appreciate it.
I plan to be there.
Okay,
I'll be there.
okay,
I'm not sure yet.
okay.
I'll be there.
At 5 o'clock or 5:30?
June 11th at 5 p.m.
Will we get any advanced information to look at so we don't come in cold?
They're just going to, they have hired, what do you call it, a contractor to come in and start working on the plan, and so they are going to do a presentation, and they just want to show it to us and get any feedback. They are not asking for anything from the Urban Renewal Agency. They just want stakeholder input.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So we'll have 2 or 3 people anyway, looks like. All right. Commissioner comments. Any of the commissioners have any additional comments they'd like to make at this time?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would like to suggest to the District Review Committee that as we close the Expo District between now and, 2020, 2021?
Yes.
2021?
Yeah, that we actually have an opportunity with a district we've closed, River Bend, and a district we're closing, Expo, to look at how that worked. They were both 20-year districts. They were both designed for industrial development. We put together plans based on the city's land use plan and the city's development plan. And yet, over the course of that, one of those districts experienced a great deal of residential construction. And that's the impact of that, obviously, is that there are increased costs to the city for police action, for fire action, for that sort of thing, that were not contemplated within the feasibility study or within the economic development plan that we put together for those 2 districts. So I'd just like to have the District Review Committee take a look at those 2 districts and the impact of zoning changes, planning changes that were made over the 20-year period that the district was in place that created more residential and less economic development, less industrial development, so that in the future we can, as we develop new plans, we can say to the city and to the planning commission, here's the plan. Once you approve the plan and we implement the district, if during the course of the plan there are developers who come in and want land use changes and zoning changes, you should go back to that plan and see what the impact will be and what that would do to not only the economic feasibility of the urban renewal development, but the urban renewal plan, but also the objectives that the city council had in creating that plan. I
think-
realize that's a scholarly this, this,
What did he say?
but it seems to me we got we got a real opportunity with two fairly adjacent districts and how they developed.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I think we should work closely with the council and the Planning and Zoning Commission for any changes they're making along that line to have a cause and effect review, which I hope they're doing anyway. But you're exactly right. The changeover of the type of zoning and from commercial or industrial to residential has a huge impact on fire and safety and police response, and probably other impacts as well that we can't even think of right at the moment. That it would be well that we do that kind of a review, and the results of that review then be shared with the council and Planning and Zoning Commission for the future. Good suggestion. Thank you. Any other commissioner comments at this time? No? Okay. Chairman comments? I don't have any additional comments to make. I think we're moving into the summer with some great things right on the cusp of jumping off, and I can't wait for all of that to start really hitting the pavement. And so with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.